In 1938, under the dusty sun of Kujut Rabu, near modern-day Baghdad, a team of archaeologists chiseled through layers of history. The site, unremarkable at first glance, yielded an extraordinary discovery. Amid the broken shards of antiquity, they unearthed several ceramic jars, aged, cracked, and coated in centuries of dirt. But these weren't ordinary jars. Inside each one lay something unexpected: a copper cylinder, an iron rod, and traces of an asphalt-like sealant. At first, the team couldn't fathom what they had found, but the deeper they looked, the stranger the tale became. Could these be evidence of technology far ahead of its time? The jars are believed to date back to the Parthian or Sassanid period, roughly between 250 BCE and 250 CE, a time when modern concepts of electricity were supposedly centuries away from conception. Each jar stands roughly 6 inches tall and contains a copper cylinder housed inside the ceramic body. At its core is an iron rod, insulated by a layer of asphalt to keep it from touching the copper. At first glance, their purpose was unclear, at least until German archaeologist Wilhelm Koenig examined them in 1940. Koenig made a bold assertion: the jars were primitive batteries. If Koenig was correct, these batteries could produce a voltage of 0.5 to 1.5 volts when filled with an acidic liquid like vinegar or lemon juice. Today, reconstructed models of the jars have successfully generated electricity in this very way, proving that Koenig's claim was, at least technologically, plausible. Some claim the Baghdad Battery was used for electroplating, an ancient process to coat objects with gold or silver. This would have allowed artisans to create lavish and sophisticated designs with metals. If true, it suggests that Parthian society had a grasp of electrical principles that we never thought possible. However, this theory raises as many questions as answers. For instance, no actual electroplated artifacts from the Parthian or Sassanid periods have ever been found. And strangely, while the jars themselves are well documented, archaeologists have found no wires or electrodes at the site, crucial elements for any functioning battery setup. Alternative theories are abundant, and not all of them involve electricity. Some researchers believe the jars may have been used to store sacred scrolls, serving no technological purpose at all. However, skeptics of this theory point to the deliberate design of the copper and iron components. The rods and cylinders are too specific, too functional to be mere ornamentation. Could they have served some kind of ritualistic or medical purpose? It's possible. Some historians argue that the jar's electrical potential might have been used for stimulation in ancient healing practices. When replicated, the weak voltage generated is enough to create a slight tingling sensation. Primitive electrostimulation, perhaps. Or was it symbolic? Could the buzzing current have been seen as divine energy in religious ceremonies? The lack of historical records from the Parthian era makes any concrete claims difficult. No writings or diagrams have been recovered that detail electrical experimentation or use. And skeptics are quick to highlight another important fact: electricity wasn't necessary to achieve most of the achievements attributed to the battery. For instance, some suggest that ancient artisans could achieve the appearance of electroplating using friction and polishing techniques alone, no electricity needed. They argue that the mystery of the Baghdad Battery lies not in its advanced science but in our eagerness to see modernity reflected in the ancient past. Still, there's a compelling counterpoint: the jar's very existence. Even if they weren't used as batteries, their design is unlike anything else in the archaeological record of the period. Modern science has weighed in on the debate. Both the Smithsonian Institution and National Geographic have built replicas of the Baghdad Battery, and in controlled experiments, these replicas have successfully generated electrical charges. Yet the voltage produced is extremely low, far weaker than even a standard modern AA battery. Too weak, frankly, to power anything useful by today's standards. Still, these tests have only deepened the intrigue because they prove that such a device could work, but not why it exists. The mystery took a tragic turn in 2003 during the looting of Iraq's National Museum. The remnants of the Baghdad batteries were stolen along with countless other priceless artifacts. Today, their whereabouts are unknown. Of course, in the absence of answers, mystery attracts speculation. Fringe theorists have linked the Baghdad Battery to stories of lost civilizations, such as Atlantis, or even extraterrestrial technology. But to skeptics, these claims muddy the waters of an already complex debate. In the end, the true purpose of the Baghdad Battery remains enigmatic. Could it be evidence of forgotten knowledge, a tantalizing glimpse of ancient innovation? Or is it simply a misinterpreted artifact, a jar whose true use was far more mundane? The answer, if it exists at all, is buried beneath layers of history where fact and speculation intertwine. Ultimately, the Baghdad Battery stands as a symbol not only of the mystery of the ancient world, but of the human desire to question, innovate, and imagine. Whether it lit up an ancient temple or simply sat forgotten on a dusty shelf, it sparks a current in us even now, the curiosity to wonder at the unknown.